It's SchmutzCast 18.
What a lead up.
I wish you could have heard.
I wish I was recording the moments before that. But now we're recording, so we're good to go. We got the new soundboard that you can barely see, but yeah, I've got all my own equipment now, and John doesn't have to bring anything but his mic anymore.
What he's saying is he now has no use for me, so he's
cut
gonna
off the team.
He's gonna be kicking me off after this
Wait,
episode.
I'm the only one not wearing a hat. You brought another hat. Give me the other hat.
You won't be catching deers.
I'm catching deers.
You want the catching deers or you want the Carhartt?
I'd rather have the show me that butthole hat.
Too late.
Too late.
Speaking
I'm
of
zooming on that.
Speaking of showing me that butthole, so I brought a present
Transition
that I got.
Segways.
So yesterday I was at a white elephant party. If you don't know what a white elephant party is, it's where everyone brings a gift that is 9 times out of 10 funny or inappropriate or something, right?
Santa.
So yeah, Dirty Santa, also known as. So my gift, it wasn't really funny. It was alcohol because I was lazy, you know. But the gift that I got, or one of the gifts that I got,
A winner. Oh,
a real winner. It is a calendar of dogs pooping. Dogs pooping. Pooping dogs.
Pooping dog
And
calendar.
we're going to go ahead and open it up, and we're going to flip through some of these pooping dogs.
Or we're getting a reveal?
We're getting a
we're
fucking
getting
reveal,
a reveal
of the
here.
Pooping Dogs calendar.
Gonna-
I know you all are so
This
in
is-
suspense right now, but I promise you, not gonna be long before you see what's inside of this.
I got an idea
As you
what it's
can tell,
going to
An
be.
unboxing pod.
As you can tell, this is the first time it's been opened.
That got me.
Oh my
Jesus
god!
Christ.
Right in the mouth.
That was so close.
I didn't think that was going to fly like that. I'm sorry,
Motherfucker
Jordan.
about to take my eyes out.
Wouldn't be the first time I've taken someone's eye out.
Fuck you. Yeah, Jordan, feel lucky. I didn't get so
At least it wasn't a
You wanna
BB gun this time.
flip through that for the people?
Let's see here. Let's show them off like a elementary school teacher. Oh, they're. Oh God. Oh God. Jesus. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's just straight up dog shitting.
A dog in its most vulnerable state.
This dog looks like such a pussy.
What?
We can't show them all. Then it ruins it.
You got to get your own.
You
if
got to
wanna
get
see the
your
rest of them.
own pooping dog calendar.
Jesus Christ.
Well, it is getting closer to Christmas, and I am fucked because first of all, Megan, a saint that she is, she handles most of the gift getting for all of my family and her family alike, and I just foot the bill most of the time. Sometimes I have a good idea, and we go with that.
Not very often, but.
Not as often as she just gets gifts. Are you enjoying the pooping dog calendar?
I like the look on all their faces.
That's not their face, Jordan.
So, me and Megan agreed that this year, since we got the house and we got some major bills coming along, that we were gonna put a $60 cap on our gifts, like $60 total in Christmas gifts. You don't understand how fucking hard that is. Like, some of the things she put on her wish list would be like $30, $40. Then she ends up with 2 fucking things. There's no fucking way I can get a decent haul of gifts for under $60. So we pushed it to $100, but still, $100. It's just, it's hard.
Yeah.
Everyone I buy gifts for, I buy one thing, and it's always the shittiest gifts. So I don't know if I can really sympathize.
Yeah, but she's gonna be my wife. Like, it's not just like giving your mom a fucking candle for Christmas.
He's got.
Well, that's what I do every year.
A candle?
I give my mom and my sister a candle every single year.
You are corny.
Oh, dude, I don't give a shit. I like last year, my sister-in-law, and my mom all got the exact same thing, and it was a candle, fuzzy socks, and a gift card, different gift cards, and I literally put them all in the same like type of bag. It was 3 identical bags, and because I
don't
just
see anything wrong with that.
I do it every year, and they make fun of me. But
Well, then you got to keep doing it. It's tradition now. It's a funny tradition that now saves you money because it's funny.
well,
You
plus
know
I
how
always
much-
buy all the gifts on Christmas Eve.
You know how much of a piece of shit I am? So here's how my gift getting goes usually.
I don't.
typically like, so I've got multiple siblings, right? So say my sister Jackie, she'll be at like Sam's, right? Because she likes to go shopping a lot, and she does that all the time. So she's at Sam's, and she says, "Oh, there's something here that would be good for Katie for Christmas." Katie is my other sister, and you know what I say? I say, "Go ahead and get it, and I'll Venmo you." So my sister
Brilliant.
just buys it for me, and I just Venmo her, and I wrap it up. Or actually,
Solid.
half the time I make my nieces wrap them up.
Fun wrapping
Dude.
time with my nieces.
Every time I try to wrap shit, I get so damn frustrated because I'm so bad
I'm
at
so
it.
bad.
So
I'm literally atrocious at it.
I fuck it up every single time.
You know, I
Women have
noticed.
it down to a fucking science.
I noticed.
It's crazy.
I
too.
noticed
Like,
last
they're
night.
so good at it.
Yeah.
I noticed last night during the gift exchange, you could tell which gifts were wrapped by guys and which gifts were wrapped by girls. Like the
There
girls
are
were
some
nice
guys
and
that
clean.
really take it seriously, but it's very rare.
I try. I
definitely
try to
try,
crease the
yeah.
corners and shit, but
I
I
do
still
the- I
rip
do
the
the
paper
little-
while I'm in the process.
Oh,
And
all
you
the time.
get another piece to patch it up. And
Dude, there was one time, I think it was last year actually, I ran out of wrapping paper, so I had to like just take a bunch of scraps of wrapping paper and just tape them all over the box. I took
my
like
God.
it was like
Oh
five
my
different it was
God.
like 5 different pieces of wrapping paper that I just had to like patch around the box. I think I gave it to my brother too,
I've
so
got-
it made it even funnier.
I've got an idea. And we could feel free to do this. We could feel free to say it's stupid, but what if like for our Christmas special, we all bring something really stupid and we do a gift exchange on the podcast, a
Well,
dirty
I
Santa
wanted
on
to
the
do that
podcast.
this week, I was gonna bring that up. I wanted to do a fucking draw out of a hat for who gets who, and
We-
nobody knows.
Let's
And
do it.
You have to guess.
Well, let's do it. And whatever one is left, we'll just send it with Jordan. He can't look at it, and he can give that to Brandon.
Yeah.
Let's
I
do
think
it.
That'd be fun.
I'm
then we
100%
guess
in.
Who got what?
Yeah,
For who?
I'm 100% in. But we have to. Well, we have to have a way of bringing them here without seeing the wrapping paper, unless we all put it in like a uniform thing, like a uniform like wrapping style, same bags or something like that.
We'll
Yeah.
we'll iron out the details.
Yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
I like that idea.
I like
think
where
we
your
can
head's
do
at.
that.
I mean,
I
it's
think it'd be
gonna be like stupid things.
I think it can be stupid. It can be inappropriate. It can be anything.
It can be anything, but I mean, the whole point is we're gonna try to guess who got what for who.
Now, just note that if there is a pleasure toy that is brought up, it will probably have to be blurred out in post.
We can blur.
What the hell was that?
Somebody was starting to cry.
I was wondering what the hell that noise was. I heard that too. I was like, you guys didn't react to it.
Welcome to the city.
Viewers, drop a comment if you could hear what that was, and if you have any guesses.
We'd love to hear them. God, dude, Christmas is coming and going so fast. Like, I usually, I can't lie, I do get some Christmas spirit, you know? Like, I feel happy around Christmas because I just like the colorful stuff. Like, you know, the cool decorations. I don't like putting out the decorations, but I like looking at them.
I can't
Dude.
lie. I could not care less about Christmas.
I get seasonal depression, man.
I do too,
Yeah.
but I think Christmas is the thing that helps me. I try to force myself to like feel the Christmas spirit. So like me and Megan every night in the past like 2 weeks we've watched a Christmas movie or a Christmas TV show or something to do with like wintry seasons. So like Die Hard Christmas movie. We haven't watched that one yet, but Die Hard we want to watch.
Saw you watch the cartoon Grinch the other day.
Yes, it's a winner, bro. I love that.
How about have you all watched the live action Grinch yet?
I love
John and I
it.
were talking about this the other
Dude,
day.
that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
That is
Hey, you
It's
take
so
you
fucking
take
funny.
you
that is
taking
my
you taking
most favorite Christmas
you
movie
taking
ever.
Jim Carrey, Grinch, or Elf?
I take Jim Carrey Grinch all the
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking hell!
Yeah.
Megan's favorite movie, bar none, like not even just Christmas movies, is Elf.
Elf's a phenomenal fucking movie.
Elf
That-
is great.
Him and I were debating
it.
that the other day.
Don't get me wrong. Elf is great.
Jim Carrey's Grinch is next fucking level.
Yes. We want to hear what you all have to say too.
Yeah,
Like-
I would love to hear what the lists of favorite Christmas movies. But
Have you seen that like trend going around like on Facebook where people be like, you have to pick 3 Christmas movies?
yeah.
So,
Okay, so
You wanna-
if we had to pick 3 Christmas movies,
mm-hmm.
mine would be Jim Carrey's Grinch, Christmas Story, and probably Rudolph. I really like Rudolph.
They're, oh man.
Like Yukon Cornelius and Rudolph is one of the funniest fucking things to me, dude. Like every time I see that motherfucker on the screen,
Is that the silver and gold?
yeah, Bumbles float.
I'm pulling up like,
Let me at 'em. I love it. It's so good.
I'm trying to pull up like the picture that's been going around on like Facebook. You know, they're like, you have to pick 3.
They're not gonna be able to see it.
I can't lie.
I was just pulling it up for our sake, but
if I could not watch another Christmas movie and be perfectly fine with that.
You don't like any Christmas movies?
I like them. I mean, like,
You don't like those Santa Claus movies? I fuck with.
honestly, the Santa
Home
Claus
Alone?
movies used to be like my favorite fucking Christmas movies. We used to
Home
watch them all
Alone?
the time.
Home Alone?
Home Alone's arguably a Christmas movie.
What do you mean?
Are you kidding me?
The
Actually,
whole movie's based that they went on a vacation
For Christmas.
Yeah, but I feel like people watch that movie outside of Christmas though.
I watched The Grinch outside of. My
I
nieces
watched-
came over and watched The Grinch in July.
Well, that's because you're
The
weird.
Grinch is just a great movie.
See,
I-
okay, my 3 movies. Mine is The Grinch, Elf, and Home Alone. Home Alone is my
Megan
3rd.
would probably go Elf, Home Alone, and I would say, you know,
Is she like White Christmas? Is she like White Christmas?
what do you mean?
Like the old like Hallmark style movies?
No.
Oh, okay.
Those
No, she
movies-
likes
those
the
movies
con-
suck.
Oh, they're terrible. I don't fuck with those. Anything Hallmark movie can kiss my ass. I am not interested in the slightest.
Hallmark movies are the same storyline, just like Avatar and
Yeah, Avatar and Dances with Wolves. Speaking of, are we going to see that this weekend?
No.
Well, what I was gonna say is, I want to go see it Friday because now it's been hyped up to me so much online. I feel like I have to see it so that I can hate it.
Oh, you talk about Dances with Wolves?
Dances with Wolves 4.
Is it midnight Friday or is it releasing Friday?
It's midnight Thursday.
Well,
Well,
if we-
it's not midnight. It's like 9 p.m. Thursday. You can go see it.
Well, if we go Friday, I can't go till late.
So we could go Thursday night.
I would rather go late Friday if we can do that.
Me too.
We can work that out, but I'm free this coming Friday, so
Hmm.
and I would like to do something.
Are we going to the big theater?
Hell yeah, we're gonna go sit in the recliners, baby.
I've never been there. I've never been to any of those nice
Yeah,
theaters with the
you're not gonna
recliners
wanna
and the
go to
beers.
another movie theater, ever. Like I can't stand Corden now. I can't stand Great Escape in New Albany.
Cordon's kind of
Trash.
weird.
Corden's trash. It's the worst fucking movie theater.
The only good thing about going there was we had so many friends that worked there.
Yeah.
free popcorn. But
Yeah.
but seriously, that one, the Escape Theater, it's a life changer. It makes me want to like for a while there. Like I just didn't like going to the movies. I just wait. But then it rejuvenated my want to see movies that weren't Star Wars or Marvel. Because Star Wars and Marvel, I go see those. But like outside of that, there was one. There's one night every year that they have. I think it's $3 movies or something like that, and all the theaters are fucking packed. Me and Megan went and saw 2 movies back to back. Like we watched a movie, then went to another one of the theaters in there.
This was at the nice one.
Yeah, we watched. We had to sit in the very front row of the big one.
Ugh.
It is disorienting.
Ugh.
Even when you lay all the way back, it is like neck pain from hell.
Yeah, you
So-
get out of there and you're just like
Yeah,
you
sucks.
gotta pop your neck like 30 times trying to
And then
get.
halfway through that movie, I went to get the tickets for the next movie we were gonna watch, and I tried my hardest to get the furthest one in the back. I was like, I can't do this again.
So that reminds me of a funny story. So when I was in college, I asked this girl out on a date, and we were gonna go to do some ice skating. It was around like this time of year, so it was like winter stuff. You know, we went and looked at a bunch of Christmas lights. They have like some really cool Christmas lights like out. If you go kind of north of here, right? If you go a little bit north of here, then there's like some really cool towns with some like really cool Christmas lights on the square, kind of like in Corden. So we were gonna go ice skating, and we show up, and this place is packed, and I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And so I search it, and apparently U of L hockey team plays hockey there, so there was a hockey game going on. So I was like,
That's
oh,
fucking
geez.
awesome. Did you guys watch it?
I wanted to so bad,
That sounds funny.
but
It does.
but she was like, I'm not really into hockey. And I was
Neither
like,
am I, but it's
yeah,
fun.
And I was like,
don't watch
okay.
hockey, but I would fucking love to watch like watch in real life. It'd be
Yeah,
fun as
fuck
shit.
yeah.
I was like, you know what? Like, okay, like, I was like, hey, there's this. They had the really big, like the really big, nice movie theaters like that. You know, where you can buy the alcohol and shit. Right down the road, and I was like, well, let's go see a movie. Like, let's go find a movie to watch. And she's like, oh, I've been wanting to go see. It was one like Snow White. Was it Snow White that came out? No, the new Mary Poppins remake.
Oh.
When that
Ugh.
the Mary Poppins.
Ugh.
She's like, you wanna go see Mary Poppins? And I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
So we show up. This place is packed too. I guess no one else has anything better to do than to go see movies.
Well, it's
wintertime.
30 degrees outside.
That's
No,
true. I mean, that's
They're
fair.
not gonna be playing cornhole.
And so we show up, and those are the movie theaters where you buy like the pre-seated spots, right?
Yeah.
And there were 2 seats left in this entire theater to see Mary Poppins. That was
Dead in the front.
they were right in the front,
Of course.
and so it was like she was sitting to the left of me, and I was sitting here. On the other side of her, there was like an 8-year-old kid. Now, mind you, she was going into like elementary education. She loved kids. That kid got more attention from her that movie
my
than I got that whole
God.
night. I was like, dang. So like, and the kid's like, the kid's like over there like cuddling up on her and stuff, and I'm like, hey kid, like
you got me beat.
I can't.
You got me beat.
I can't
drive
hate.
her home.
I can't hate. So,
Hey, get your ride with him.
man.
I'm gonna dip on out.
That was
Alright, I'ma fuck with you.
so that was when I had the big truck, right? So I felt like a big man going into that. Man.
Transmission went out.
No, that was on the way to Chicago and on New Year's Day the second time.
The same vehicle, 2 transmissions, and you still want to fix that fucking thing.
Yeah, I do. Dude,
At some points, you know how they have the saying of like Darwinism? It's kind of similar to that. If you're just ready to pour money into something, it'll let you. But you're just going to keep pouring and pouring and pouring until it takes the whole fucking pitcher.
see, here's the difference now. Now, Chuck isn't working on his house anymore, so he can help me drop a transmission in. That
Okay,
way-
you got a transmission in it the last time, and
Okay.
it still blew up.
Okay, so hear me out. I don't think that the issue this time is necessarily a transmission. I think it's the computer within the transmission. That's where all the signs are pointing to, because it slips when it's going into third gear. And any forums that I've seen online have said that it's like there's something that needs like reset within like the calibration of it, so it needs to get to the shop to be recalibrated. It's just a matter of doing that.
Are you
think at
talking about
this
your
point-
truck or your Jeep?
The truck.
That motherfucker is a lemon on top of a lemon, bro. That thing is done for. You need Dale Earnhardt fucking senior to work on that motherfucker.
You know, you're gonna say that until it gets fixed, and then you're like, okay, that's kind of cool.
Oh man.
Because I'm getting some real big
You know,
tires from
you
Chuck.
know, I gotta throw some shade on you, John. I remember when I first bought my truck, and I had the truck for a while, and John had talked about getting a truck for a bit. John gets a truck, and it's a Dodge, and it was nicer than mine. It was nicer in the interior. It was nicer on the exterior. And then his broke down, and I was like, at least mine fucking runs, bitch.
Oh man,
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. I don't think that truck's ever getting fixed.
this.
I'm gonna go ahead.
It's like the Stang.
It's like the Scion, the
Okay, the
Stang.
Scion is pulled back up and battery is charged. It's been ozoned out, so we got all the smell out.
Wasn't that like 9 months ago?
No, we
Ozone?
ozoned. So like, you know what an ozone machine is? It like literally just like
Oh.
It's like a detailer.
I
Yeah.
thought you just like fucking sprayed Ozium in it. I got it ozoned. Took a can of Ozium to it.
No. I put an actual like ozone machine to it, and that my plan is so obviously the Jeep is in the shop right now. Once the Jeep is out and I have my everyday driver, the next one that's going is gonna be the Scion. The Scion gonna basically take it in. It needs new suspension. That's the main thing that it needs is just the suspension and probably a new battery because the battery has been dead for a while. So just need to get a new battery in there.
So you guys did get that wheel fix that broke?
Yeah.
Oh.
The Scion will run. The Scion will run.
The Scion was a nice car. I actually
will
really
run.
did like that car.
It's
a lot more
fine.
durable than the Dodge.
Yeah.
It lasted. It's I mean
Until
it's
John
still.
reamed a 3-foot diameter pothole.
Oh my gosh!
It
Dude,
was all
that
downhill
was so
from there.
scary. I was coming home from my ex-girlfriend's house, right? And I hit this. There's always this pothole in this road that I would go. So I would usually miss it. There was a car coming the other way, so I was like, I tried to get over.
Gotta ream it.
I tried to get over as far as I could without like dropping off the road. I guess I didn't get over far enough. Fucking hit that thing.
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
So I hit this pothole, and my rim just shattered. Just shattered.
The best part was you kept driving with it.
No, I
and-
didn't. No.
Huh?
When I hit the big pothole, it shattered it. I could not drive because our buddy, or one of my buddies, his name is Trent. He was driving by. It just so happened that he was driving by, and he like stopped and he helped me change out to put the donut on it.
I thought. Oh wait, then it broke the axle or something, didn't it?
No, so it had a crack in it from a long time ago. The rim had a crack in it, but it was like glued shut and everything. But once I hit the pothole, it shattered it.
Well, I just remember one time, it like around that time after you hit that pothole, riding in that car with you, and there was something that threw one of the tires out of balance, and it felt like anytime you were going, it was like shaking back and forth.
Dude, my truck did that for like a year. Like we'd be going down the interstate. I'd be taking Megan out to a nice dinner, and I'd be going down the interstate, wheels like this.
Everyone's just
That's the
Everyone's
shake
fucking
it. That's
time.
the shake of death.
Yeah.
So this is different. This was a different feeling. This was like
it felt
felt
like
like
John was just like doing this on the steering
That's
wheel.
literally what I'm talking about. Yeah, it was going like,
trucks do it worse because they're so light
Yeah.
in the back.
yeah.
They do it worse.
She was
So,
about to make me car sick.
I
It was,
brought up.
it was
I brought
rough.
up Ozium. There's a funny story I got with Ozium. So, I was over.
The hell even
at-
is Ozium? I don't even know what that is.
It's like this really strong smelling spray. Like, it's used a lot for like weed smokers or like getting like skunk smell off of shit. So I was at Spencer's. I can't remember his buddy's name, but his buddy was over there too. We were in the hot tub, and me and his buddy were drinking, and Spencer had like one or two, and then he was like, "Oh, let's go get something to eat." And this is like 7 o'clock at night, but it was in the winter. So at that point, I'm pretty fucked up. I'm almost full drunk. And so we hop in the car. We hop in Spencer's Charger.
Charger, yeah.
We hop in his Charger, and we're going down his road. And you all know his road. It's got a little swervy spots there.
Is it where he lives now?
Where he lives now, yeah. So we are going, and Spencer's like, "Y'all want to see me lay on it?" So he lays on it. A big fucking fat ass skunk runs out. That motherfucker explodes, blows up, and he's like, maybe it won't smell. Maybe it won't smell. Like 15 seconds later, I'm fucking dying in the back, and he's like, we're fucking trucking on. We're trucking on. We're going.
Did he say 5 points?
God.
I think you get negative points for a fucking skunk.
Yeah.
So we go all the way into Corden, and there's that car wash up by the Mexican restaurant. So we stop by there. I get out. To remind you, I am still heavily intoxicated, and I'm like on the verge of vomiting because of how bad the smell is. We pull it in there, and I lay on the fucking concrete just getting air, and his buddy who I can't remember his fucking name.
You lay on the ground in the parking
in the
lot.
parking lot. Yeah, there was nobody else there, and his buddy comes over. His buddy's still shirtless. He was just wearing fucking trunks, and I mean he was kind of jacked, had a 6-pack and shit. So I mean, if I looked like him, I probably would have done the same thing. But then he lays on the fucking blacktop, and we hear this like a fucking spray paint can. And I look up, Spencer's fucking dumping a whole can of Ozium. And for people that have never smelled this Ozium shit, it is very strong. He dumps a whole fucking can in this fucking car. It was worse than the skunk. I could not breathe. I was dying. My lungs hurt the next day from breathing in this fucking Ozium. And we still went into El Nepal and got dinner there. And somebody came up to our table and said we smelled like shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a stranger?
Yeah.
Like someone you did not know?
Yeah. They came up to our table like, what did you all hit a skunk? You all smell fucking terrible. And we're like, it's a mix of skunk and fucking Ozium, because our clothes were fucking covered in the Ozium because it's a spray. Like, it was all over the seats. And the seats were leather, so it doesn't like sink in. Oh, it smelled fucking terrible. If you use Ozium, don't use the whole fucking can. You just need a little spritz, and it'll be gone. I promise. Don't use the whole fucking can.
Or just use an ozone machine. But you gotta
use the ozone.
Ozone it.
Use the ozone.
I gotta ozone it out.
That was thanks to Patty. Patty brought his ozone machine over. He's got one.
Patty would have an ozone machine.
Yeah, that would be a thing. That
Patty.
If you all remember Patty, he was the Puerto Rican guy.
It's Puerto.
It's pronounced Puerto Rico. Anytime I'm playing Xbox with him anymore, especially if Stilger's in the party.
Oh yeah. So, speaking of Xbox.
Yes.
We've had a very eventful Xbox time recently, and it sucks because my stream room is still not ready. So I didn't get any of this on recording on stream. Or
You're just gonna have to take our word for
You're
it.
just gonna have to take our word for it that this was probably the funniest encounter I've ever had. I will remember this stuff for the rest of my fucking life.
This briefly took me out of my seasonal depressional state.
Yeah. I was laughing so hard my stomach was hurting. I
My
had to
abs.
stop.
My abs. I felt
I
like
was
I got
feeling
more of a
tight.
6-pack.
I'm still waiting to hear the rest of this story because
Yeah,
you
Jordan
started
hasn't
you
heard
started
all of it. We
earlier.
stopped so that we could tell it on the pod.
Yeah.
But me and John were playing one day, and we were on with Nate, our buddy Nate, and we said, let's go into game chat and just fuck around. We were playing Search and Destroy, and we're playing, and our thing with our clan is that we're the Dog Pound. That's our clan name, is
It's
DOGLB. So
Dog
every
Pound.
time we went around, we bark at people in the game chat. So, like, it annoys the fuck out of people because they want to talk shit. They want to be like, oh, pussy, you suck, you suck, you suck. And all you hear from us is... So, we started doing that a lot. And then when me, Nate, and John were playing, we were trying to get people to join in with us. And they would. Like, a lot of people would join in.
We had this lady, Siren.
So this lady, Siren, she sounded like she was our age. We still don't know. We met her. We had her for 2 games, I think, or was it just 1 game? Must have been a long 1 game because I felt like we were on the mic with her for a while. So it starts out. She's on the mic, and you hear her talk, and John's like, "Is that a woman on our team?" He starts flirting with her, and then and then later on, somehow it gets brought up because every round that we win, we're trying to get her to bark. We're like, you gotta bark with us because she's laughing when we bark, but she'll turn her mic off unless she has something to say about the game, like, oh, player over there, like call outs. So we're trying to get her to talk back. So John starts flirting with her, and then like, Siren, we need to be together.
It was like
be together.
It was like, Siren, I'm so happy with you. Like, it's just like, Siren, you make me feel a way that I've never felt before. And she goes, what?
She's just so confused by John, and he's like, so she comes on, and we have her bark And she's like, oh shit, here comes my kids. And then John's like, oh, red flag. He said, I'm sorry, it's not you, it's me. This isn't working. He's like, maybe it is kind of you.
I said, it's not you, it's me. But it's mostly you.
So a couple minutes go by, we still can't get her to bark. But she's laughing, like she's enjoying it, so we're trying to get her to bark so bad.
You're reeling it in.
We're
You're
reeling it in. And then John it pauses for a while, and we're all playing, trying to like focus a little bit to get the win. And John's like, Siren, I miss us. He's like, take me back.
Let's try again. Let's try this again. I miss us.
So you hear her kid come into the room, and we're like, oh, John, she has a kid. And he's like, Mayday, Mayday, I'm out. And I was thinking in my head, I was like, oh, God, I want to have her kid bark. So I said, what am I going to have to do, Siren, to get you to have your kid bark on the mic for us? And she's like, you just got to win around and I'll tell him to do it. And her kids' names were Ali and Decker. I was like, okay, that's kind of fire. So I was like, okay. So the kid comes in and he's like,
we lose the round, though.
We lose the round, and John's like, he can bark anyways. He can bark
He
anyways.
can bark.
Let him bark. And she said, go
Let
ahead.
the dog
bark.
eat.
She's such a nice girl, whoever she is. And, like, she's like, go ahead, bark, bark. And he goes, woof, woof, woof. And the other team can hear it and everything, and we're fucking dying. And we're so fucking happy. And she said, oh, God, here comes the other kid. We're like, there's two. So the next round, we got both of them to bark. And they're going fucking buck wild. They start screaming and shit. And she's like, oh, no, look what you've done. And she said, no, stop hitting. They start fucking fighting each other. All because we tried to have it bark. It was so fucking funny. And then I was so overstimulated, I had to back out so we didn't get re-queued with her. Because I was like, I don't think I can handle much more. I was dying. I was hurting. So then the next game, directly the next game, we get in with these two people who I presume are dating or are friends.
You know, it's still a mystery.
I don't know.
Because they never gave an answer.
Maybe I'll ask him when I talk to him. Because I ended up getting in contact with this fellow, and you'll understand why. So this guy, let me. So this guy. So he's talking majestic, deep, guttural voice.
Just like
a perfect sound.
He puts Morgan Freeman to shame.
He's the white Morgan Freeman. And I don't even know if he's white, but he sounds white. He's the white sounding Morgan Freeman. So he's talking and I'm like, oh my God, your voice, sir. And I'm like, I don't even think I want to play the game. I was like, I just want to hear you say things. And I started saying like, I told him to say, damn, son, where'd you find this? And he did that. And then we tried our hardest to get him to bark. And then he did it one time, and the mic cut out, and I didn't fucking hear it.
Aww.
And he's like, oh, you got one of them. You got one. I'm not doing it again. And the next round, I'm like, come on, dude, do it. Bark with us. And we start barking. And in the background of us barking, you hear him say, meow. And I'm like, awesome. So there's a girl in there. So then I'm like, fuck it, this would be funny. I'm going to try to be matchmaker because I didn't know they knew each other at the time. I thought they just queued. So I was like, all right, I don't remember her name. I don't even remember the screen name. But say her name is...
Say girl.
Girl. So I said, hey, girl, if you were in bed with this guy, what would you want him to say? And she said something.
She said some real raunchy.
Real vile shit.
Like
my dirty little whore or some shit. And he said it all.
And she's like, oh yeah, that's doing it.
She said, yep, getting there. I was like, oh my God.
Like what's happening on the other side of their games right now?
And I was saying to John and Nate, I was like, I think we started something. So then I wanted to join them back.
We had a kid that joined with us because there was
the next
five of us.
game.
Oh, it was.
That was the next game. So we joined in with them because I told him that I wanted to add him so that he could do an intro for the podcast. I told him about the podcast. I said, I will pay you to say a certain amount of lines to put as my podcast intro. Said he would do it. I added him on Discord. We're working on it. We're still trying to figure out what we're going to have him do. But his voice is fucking perfect. And I am excited to do something with it. So the next game, we were going to play one more with him. The next game, some kid gets in there, and he, this deep voice guy starts singing random shit in his deep-ass voice. And just
It was old country.
Old country shit. Country roads.
Country roads, yeah. He started
Country
singing
roads.
Country Roads.
Take me home. He was really into metal music too, because he kept like telling me to look up songs that were like metal covers and shit. Super cool dude. And it was like all of those things happened within like an hour.
Yeah.
All of that I just told you happened within an hour, and it was very overstimulating.
It was content gold, as
and
we
we
were
missed
saying.
it all. I didn't get to do any of it. That
Oh,
would have
man.
been a hell of a YouTube video.
That would have been that could have broke out like your
dude,
content creating
dude.
on there. That could have broke it out, like, honestly.
I know. It's the most memorable and enjoyable 3 games of Call of Duty I've ever played.
This is why, Jordan, you need to get
You need
Call
to
of
get
Duty.
Call of Duty and play online with us. There's like so much fun to be had.
Jordan's about to rebuttal with something really fucking stupid.
But you
He's gonna say, listen.
Listen,
Listen.
I'm never gonna buy Call of Duty
Why not?
Game share.
because I don't want it.
I will game share with you.
I'm playing Skyrim right now.
Oh my god, how many times have you played Skyrim?
A lot.
Okay, put down Skyrim. You know you'll come back to it.
Mm-mm.
Show me that butthole.
See, this is why I hate talking video games with Jordan, because it's like you'll be talking about all kinds of video games, be like,
I'm
oh yeah,
playing
on Skyrim. Like,
I'm playing.
okay, Jordan, there's a life outside of Skyrim.
It's Skyrim or Pokemon. That's what this man plays.
I was actually about to restart the new Pokemon game again. That's all I give a shit about. I don't need your new age multiplayer only games.
But I like single player games too, but they get fucking old. I can't play single player games forever. Like that shit gets so boring to me.
You know, Jordan does like to just kind of be by himself a lot, though. Like, he likes his alone time. He very much cherishes it.
I do too. I like to play video games by myself a good amount. But the most fun times I've had playing games is honestly in this past year. Of us playing Fortnite, Call of Duty,
Oh, yeah.
Rocket League,
Siege.
There's all those fucking games.
I do
have
like
had
Rocket League.
Rocket
I do like Rocket League a lot, and I downloaded Siege.
Siege is fantastic.
Siege is fun.
Siege is
but-
always going to be there. That's the one that's like, this Call of Duty has come and it'll eventually go. It'll be gone. It'll be gone. But Siege is
There's like
always there.
I saw a video on Facebook earlier that was like it's like the 5 stages of Call of Duty online, and like right now we're in like stage 3 where everyone's like saying fuck this, the last Call of Duty isn't that bad,
Yeah.
and going back and playing, was it Vanguard?
Fuck that shit.
I never played it.
Shit's garbage. Trash. I'm still in love with the new Call of Duty.
I still like
I
it,
still
yeah.
have so much fun with it. I've almost hit the fucking level cap on that fucking game.
They're all the same game.
Oh, yeah. But not at all.
This Skyrim is the same game every time you fucking replay it.
Yeah, that's why I keep replaying it.
Play Vanguard, play Call of Duty Vanguard, then play Modern Warfare 2, and then come back to me and say they're the same game. They're nothing alike.
Which Modern Warfare 2? Because they made 2 of them.
The new one.
Because they're the same game.
They are not.
Definitely not. The same
They're
game.
very different.
Very different.
Very different.
So-
Both incredible,
Both incredible. Both incredible.
but very different games.
Honestly, this Call of Duty is probably the one that it has the potential to dethrone the original Modern Warfare 2 for me. It's that fucking good. I love it. It's so much fun. I think when did it come out? At the end of October, beginning of November. So I've had it for about a month and a half. I've put 8 days of playtime in it.
Jeez.
It's a lot.
I don't know how much I've put on.
I think the last time I checked mine, I think yours said like 3 days.
Wow.
That's still a lot. That's a lot for you.
That's
Like,
the most video games that I've probably played in about a fucking year.
I'll say probably more than that. You don't play a lot of video
I
games.
don't play video games a lot, but this new COD, man, like
it's got you on like multiple times a week, and I love it.
I'm enjoying it because it used to be where it's like we'd be lucky if I'd be getting on once a week. We'd be lucky.
I think it's because you've found that you're pretty decent at this COD.
Yeah, I've found the class that I like.
The riot shield and the fucking knife. Tom runs around with a riot shield and a knife.
Yes, it is awesome. It is so toxic. I love it.
I'm glad you're having fun with that. Though.
It's
Speaking of toxicity, I got to experience Patty talking shit to people the other day.
Isn't it?
I was
insane?
real confused because
It
I
is
didn't realize he was
intense.
playing on a PC, so he would just start yelling shit out of nowhere.
Yeah.
he's like
So he can
we'll be
talk to both of them.
we'll
Like,
be
we'll
in
be-
party
we'll be-
chat and
Yeah.
and he'll say like, man, shut the fuck up, you fucking pussy, shut the fuck up.
Mid conversation
And
about
Jordan's
something.
like,
I was like, what?
What? What do you mean?
And then he just wouldn't respond, and John was like, he's in game chat.
I fucking love playing with Patty. He is the epitome of toxic, and I think he loves that title.
Oh, yeah.
I think he fully embraces it.
you know, we were playing the other day. I don't remember who we were playing with, and I said to whoever was on with us, I was like, Patty gets really toxic with this game. He's gonna start like motherfucking these people, like, and Patty's like, no, I'm not feeling it tonight. And I said, Patty, I give it 3 fucking rounds. I give it 3 rounds, and you're over
I
the
wouldn't
edge.
give it that.
And
he
it was-
always says that. Oh, I'm not feeling it tonight. I'm
I
not
shit you
feeling it
not.
tonight."
Round 3 came. Oh, he's going off on these people in the chat. He's
Shut
going
the fuck
off.
up! Shut the fuck up, you pussy!
And
And then he starts talking Spanish.
Yeah, he goes in
He
Spanish.
starts jawing in
He
Spanish.
just kept screaming shit in Spanish, and then he would use his damn soundboard and just hitting the fucking the
What are you
squeak-
doing,
the get
stepbrother?
shit on.
You're trash.
What are you doing, stepbrother?
Yeah, I'm fully invested in the new COD. I think honestly, video games have rekindled some of my old friendships. Like
They do that.
me and Zach didn't talk for like the first 2-ish years out of high school. We didn't have anything against each other. Just
It just happens.
It just
It's one of those
happens.
things.
But I think it was late 2020 maybe. Me and Zach, I was on and Zach joined my Xbox party, and ever since then it's like me and him are fucking close, and I like that. And same thing with Lou. I didn't talk to Lou a lot right after high school, but now with Xbox, since I've started playing Xbox with him, like I'll see him at Hogs and we'll fucking hang out and like he's my homie.
I kind of feel that too because like I never hung out with Zach in high school really.
Mhm.
Never really even hung out with him. I think he came over to my house for a party once, and that was it.
Yeah.
And I mean, we would talk like, "Hey, what's up, man?" Like, or if we
Uh-huh.
were sitting close to each other in class, we'd like shoot shit. But it wasn't ever like we would go in and hanging out. But like, now from playing like Xbox with him and
You all
stuff,
shit on each other all the time.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
it's
I
like
love it.
Zach, shut the fuck up,
It's an
you pussy."
evolving friendship.
It's-
It's great to see.
I love it. See, that's what I love is I love talking shit to all my friends. Like
Yeah.
I might talk a lot of shit to y'all, but it's because I love you.
Yeah, but it's fun to jaw at each other. It's
And-
so funny.
I talk shit at Jordan all the time just because I mean, he's a fucking piece of shit.
Dude, we get so intense in our Xbox parties. Do you want to rebut?
I was just gonna say, it's easy to talk shit to me because I'm really bad at talking shit. So normally,
So some of our talking shit gets so intense, I don't even realize that to an outside party, it may seem like bad, like that we are fighting each other about it. There was one time, Zach has a buddy, also ironically named Zach, that when we first started
Better
playing
Zach?
with him,
Better Zach.
when we first started playing with him, he would get in the party with us, and me and Zach always just dog each other like bad. Like I will just talk mad shit about him, he'll talk mad shit about me. And there was one time we were like straight jawing at each other, and then Alex joined the party, and I started jawing at Alex, and me and Alex got really fucking intense. And we knew that we were playing around, like we had that serious voice, but it was the type of serious voice that we're fucking around.
yeah.
That guy left the party, and then the next day told Zach at work, and because Zach had left the party at this point, he told Zach the next day at work, he's like, I don't know if I want to get in the party again. It got really hostile last night. Like, it was bad. And me and Alex, towards the end of that fight, we're talking about fucking each other. Like, angrily, we're like, bro, I'm gonna fuck you, you piece of shit. I'm gonna fuck you. And like, and he, I guess he didn't realize how dumb it was or something. He thought we were serious. But that's my favorite
I think he's
part
actually
about
gonna fuck that other guy.
I think he's gonna fuck him. He might, oh my god, Zach, he might fuck him. And like,
He sounded pretty serious.
that's my favorite part about Xbox. I like playing the games, but it's not even close to as fun as when you've got the big group playing at the same time, and everybody's just fucking jawing at each other.
See, like back then, that was like Warzone time. So like we were doing a lot of 4-player stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now with the new COD, it's 6-player stuff, and
6 players.
it's not uncommon for us to get a
6
party
player.
of 6.
We get it so often that it's like honestly surprising.
It's because the new COD is so good.
It's so good.
And I mean, I got Spencer. Spencer's gonna buy it. Spencer's
would-
gonna buy the game.
I would be down as fuck if we got more than 6. We could do like private matches of like 3v or like 4v4 and shit,
Yeah.
or 5v5 or even 6v6 if we could end up getting fucking 12 motherfuckers wanting to play.
Oh man, could you imagine that
would
game
be
chat?
so much fun.
Oh my gosh, we would have to go to game chat so we could like shit on each other like between rounds and stuff,
We
right?
could play. They used to call it. I think it was cops and robbers. But it's basically you go into a private match. We did this on Call of Duty Ghosts. I had a big group to play with. We would do 5v5. We went to this one map that had a big ass building. So we would do Embassy in the new one if we would. You know the big ass building with the 2 floors. Looks like
Yes.
the executive office kind of thing.
And it's got like the alley
Yeah.
between them.
So
Yeah.
it would be kind of like Siege, where one team stays in the building and can't leave the building, and the other team has to get in and like, I can't remember what it was, either kill everybody or like take something out or something. It was so much fun. I loved doing that. So like, if we could get a big enough group and do that in a private match, that would be fun.
I would 100% be in. We need to get Jordan in on that.
Fuck
What do you
Jordan.
mean?
Nobody likes Jordan.
What do you mean?
You're not gonna want to play it anyways.
I might.
So, off the topic of games, you don't like Call of Duty. You don't like Call of Duty.
You don't like us.
You don't like playing games with us.
Both.
You like playing with yourself.
I invited you to a
I-
party the other night when LT and I were in a party.
When? I never got the invitation.
Friday night, I think. Yeah, I think it was Friday night.
Dude, I told you sometimes they don't come through. That one that you sent me that I joined whenever I was talking to you and Patty, that was the only time I've ever gotten a party invite.
Maybe I just need to spam him next time.
Spam it.
Yeah, don't do that. But
I'm wondering if you get internet at your house, will you even get online with them?
yeah, I basically have internet now with my new phone. I'm always online. Like I play for Honor fairly often.
You have enough service to play? Really?
Yeah, it made no sense because like with my old phone, granted it was old, but like
Why don't you get one of those fucking home hotspot things?
well, I didn't think that we had 5G at our house to get like the T-Mobile hotspot Wi-Fi thing, but now that I got this phone that actually gets 5G, I found out I actually get 5G in a handful of places in the house, so I actually think I can get that.
Why don't you get that? Because I think they do unlimited data now.
I just been busy. I haven't had time to look into it.
I think
I'm
that's
probably
unlimited
going
data
to.
now.
I need to look into it and see if I can get it because I actually kind of think that I can now. But it'd be really fucking nice. You know.
I think that'd be fucking sweet for you to play with us.
Then you could buy the new COD.
Yeah, buy the
Yeah.
new COD. You
Yeah.
could play 2K with me online. I just downloaded FIFA because I want to try that.
Only tell him.
I
Really?
want to try it.
Only tell him
FIFA's
that you'll.
fun as shit. Okay.
You gotta only tell him that you'll play 2K and FIFA with him if he buys the new COD.
Yeah, that's the deal.
I'll buy the new 2K.
No, that's not COD.
I love
Driving
2K.
a hard bargain.
2K's fun. 2K's
LT,
actually
2K,
fun.
2K. All right, listen. 2K.
I will
It's
say
only
this
gonna be
year-
2
this
people.
year's-
But
This year's 2K is not as good as this year's COD.
Well, 2K is another one of those games that are always the exact same game, basically.
Yeah, but still I buy it.
I actually
COD is
enjoy
not.
2K.
So, I have a show recommendation for you all.
Okay.
and for the viewers. I saw it on a. There's this guy on TikTok. He's really the only reason I get on TikTok anymore. He's this chill ass dude that recommends movies and TV shows that are like kind of like Mindbender type shit. You know the Predestination movie I had you all watch? I got that from him. Like I fucking saw his video on it and I watched it. And same thing with that that one me and you watched where he said in every conceivable dimension I fuck your wife.
That was the greatest fucking single line from any TV show I've ever fucking seen, or any movie I've ever fucking seen. You know
have
what
to
that
see
means?
the movie to understand.
Yeah,
it.
but John, you didn't watch that one with us.
No, I
Oh
didn't.
my god.
When are we gonna do
but
movie nights again?
We haven't had movie night in a while.
Fucking, I don't know. Do a movie
In
night.
every conceivable reality, I
fuck
fuck your wife.
I'll bring the popcorn and the M&Ms.
John will bring the most snacks of any.
That's right.
John's a snack.
He'll also bring a bag of Doritos. He'll also bring a pack
hunk
of
of
soft
pizza.
batch cookies. He'll buy half a pizza from the gas station.
I'll get I'll make sure that I get like a 2-liter of Diet Coke for myself and a 2-liter of like Mountain Dew for y'all, or maybe Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
You know.
Well, the show that I was going to recommend, and I would watch it with you all. What are you doing?
I just got news that Wyatt made his way to Mexico.
Wyatt's in Mexico?
Wait a second.
Hold on.
Why is he in Mexico?
So you know what Wyatt's
I
doing?
know.
Wyatt is in Mexico right now.
So
Does
Wyatt,
he have a passport?
he may just be on the edge of Mexico.
He
It may
could just be
reading
close enough in his
Mexico.
because
He
Brandon.
said he was going to drive the coast. So our buddy Wyatt that was on the podcast, he is taking it upon himself to make a cross-country trip where he drives all the way to the West Coast and then follows the coast all the way back around to be in New York by New Year's. I don't know how he's going to do that.
He's
only a
on
couple
track.
Weeks left.
He's on
If
track.
He's in fucking Mexico.
He ended up going to L.A. because
Yeah,
what his plan
he
was,
went to
he was going to
LA.
hit Las Vegas. He was going to go to Las Vegas and then go south, hit and get down like where Texas is at on the coast, and he was going to follow the coast all the way to New York. But if he ended up going to L.A., because whenever I asked him about it, he was like, "Oh, that was the plan originally," and I was like, "No, that's not what you told me." Because I think he was in L.A. for like a few days too. Like I think he was there for a while. Like I thought his plan was that he was basically like hopping city to city, like not spending more than a day somewhere. But he was in Las Vegas for a few days and he was in L.A. for a few days. So I think that threw him off too. But if he's just riding the border right now, I guess he's making his way back. But I
mean,
I don't know.
I think he can still make it.
We're like 2 weeks away from New Year's.
He would still make it. Like he
He
would
could
just
still
have to be
definitely make
driving every day. He wouldn't be able to. He wouldn't
Yeah,
be able to
you're
be
not gonna able
spending.
to sit in one spot for too long.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to be spending multiple days at a time again in other cities like he has been. I don't think that was. I didn't. At least the way I understood it, I didn't think he was going to originally be spending more than one day in a city at a time. But
He's had to have held on to a lot of money to be able to do that. It's got to be some way of paying it.
well, I mean, he hasn't had a girlfriend, so he hasn't been like buying a shit ton of stuff for her, like and stuff like that, and he hasn't.
Does
I-
he pay rent at his parents' house?
Yeah, but well, I don't know if you know, but like, he lived in they own this modular
Yeah.
that shares a
I've
driveway.
been there.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
pretty much the same setup like I got,
yeah,
but his is further away.
yeah, he paid rent to them. I don't think it was a lot. Kind of like me and Brandon's situation, like renting from family. You know, they're not really trying to make money. They're just
Trying to get the money to keep it up.
exactly. And I think so. I don't think he was spending a lot of money in all reality. I think he pretty much just had his bills with the house, and I mean he's had his car forever. So like I don't think he's paying that off right now. He doesn't have student debt to be paying off. So like his expenses aren't a lot, and I don't think he was buying a lot of things either. Like he would buy stuff to make videos and stuff fairly often, but it was always like little things. So I could see him being able to save up quite a bit of money. I don't imagine that he would have been spending that much money where he
Yeah.
wasn't.
I'm glad he gets to do it. That's kind of something I always talked about doing and always wanted to, but when I was single, I never had the gumption to actually do it, and now, like, we can't leave our jobs. We can't take off that time. We can't, like, we gotta pay for the house. So, like,
Well, I'm jealous though because like whenever I quit my job and I had those like 2 months whenever didn't have a job and I was just kind of chilling, I kind of wish I did something like that. So I'm kind of jealous of him or happy for him too, like that he
I think that's
did
a good
do that.
experience to have, to be able to see that many different, like, environments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go see the world.
And
Go
plus,
see the world we
why
can,
it's
yeah.
one of those people? Why it's one of those people? He doesn't need. Like he likes being around other people, but he doesn't need to.
Why didn't he go to the Northwest? There's those fucking giant trees up in, like, Washington State and shit. That would have been a cool place.
Honestly, he wouldn't even have to go all the way up there. The Sequoia Forest is in Northern California, I'm pretty sure. Like the
I
really.
just want to see them massive ass fucking trees.
Oh yeah, same. That would be cool as shit.
That would be awesome. That would be really awesome.
I think that's one thing I definitely want to see. I told myself that, and I think I mentioned it on the podcast before, that I had a goal to see every Major League Baseball park. That was, like, on my bucket list.
I'm there with you. I'm there with you.
That's tough, man. That's going to be tough to do.
It's going to be tough.
To work around
Because
our
you gotta-
adult schedules.
you also gotta get
only
a-
been to one.
You also got to get a passport, too, because you got to get up to Toronto.
Yeah.
Honestly, Toronto's one of those cities I'd actually really like to go
I would
to.
love to go up to Toronto.
I want to see, Niagara Falls. I think would be cool to see.
Go to the Canada side.
Why?
Apparently, the United States side fucking sucks.
I've heard a
My
lot of
family
people say that.
My family was talking about it last night. My dad lived up there for years, so he saw it a couple times.
The American side of everything fucking sucks.
I know. My parents went up to Niagara Falls one time, and they went to the Canada side, and they fucking loved it. But I've also heard people say like the America side sucks.
Me and Megan I told her about that bucket list trip, and she was like, why don't we go to Cincy one weekend? We'll knock off one off the list.
Cincy's fun as shit to go to.
I do like Cincy. It's not far, and it's not too bad.
Yeah.
The traffic's a little rough. It may be a little better now because I think that bridge is fixed.
Is it? 'Cause
That one main bridge going into the city was shut down entirely when I went there.
Yeah, I know.
I've only
We just
been
Ubered
to.
around that motherfucker, though.
Did you
I
really?
stayed outside the city, and we would just Uber into the city.
I've only been to Cincy and St. Louis
St. Louis.
for a game.
St. Louis is cool too.
Went. I think it was my 8th grade year. We went for like a class trip
Mhm.
when I was at St. John's there, and we went. So back, let's see, what year would it have been when we were in 8th grade?
We graduated in 16, so 8th grade would have been 4 years before that, so probably 2011, 2012.
So there was a game in that year. I don't remember who they were playing, but there was a streaker that ran out on the
Really?
field, and we were at that game for a class trip
At a church school.
at a church school. A bunch of 8th graders and 7th graders. We saw a streaker. I
Luckily,
remember-
you didn't go to public school at that time, but at that time for public school, for me and my class,
Your class was a bunch of rascals in middle school.
yeah, we did a lot of fuck shit. And
It was
like,
the funniest shit to see as the year below you
Yeah,
guys.
we
We're like,
would
these
see
guys
it
keep
all.
fucking up.
Yeah,
Like,
we
Wait, were you
did-
at
we
Gainesville
did the worst
at that
shit.
point?
yeah, I went there at 7th grade. So whenever they,
I remember hearing about that like when I was at St.
So I
John's.
gotta
and we
tell
were-
the story.
I was
since
We
say,
were
we
like-
told it
at
on the
least
pod.
start.
we were all
telling
like, those kids over there, they're so bad.
They're
Oh my
heathens.
gosh.
We're gonna go
oh
to
my
that
gosh.
school. I guarantee. Was there at least like 1 or 2 kids from your class at the church school that
That
didn't go to Lanesville
Um,
because of that? Probably.
I don't think it was ever because
I-
of that. Because beforehand,
I thought I heard that too.
who-
Now that you
I
said
don't know
that.
who it would have been. I don't know who it would have been though.
I was just thinking there were some kids that
Well,
like
regardless, have I told this story?
on the pod.
Yeah.
I feel
No,
like
I
it's
don't
been
think so.
mentioned, but I don't think it's
I don't-
been told.
I don't see how it would have ever came
Well,
up.
I'm the only one on the pod that would have a first-hand experience.
Honestly, I've never even heard a first-hand experience story about this. I honestly kind of forgotten about
So
this.
this story is going to include underage drinking. So if you're a child, I'm going to go ahead and give a disclaimer: don't drink until you're of the legal age.
It's not worth it.
I'm just going to throw that disclaimer. So I've done my due diligence. Now we do the story. So this was, it was
7th grade?
I thought it was 7th grade.
It was 7th grade.
I think it was 7th grade. So I was in 7th grade.
I thought it was whenever you guys were in 8th grade.
It was when we were in 7th grade. We were in 7th
Yeah, we were in 7th. We were in
What?
7th grade.
I'm thinking of a
we,
different
we
story.
were in
then.
7th grade. So we thought we were gonna go see. We were reading The Hunger Games in English class, and by that I mean the only words that I ever knew from that book was what the teacher would read to us, and then they would assign us to read shit after
Spark
class.
notes.
Spark Notes, baby. I never read a fucking book in school. Ever.
Same.
Fuck
Ever.
no.
Same.
Spark Notes. So we were gonna go see the movie. That was our fucking thing. That was our field trip. So we thought it was a great idea. Our hellion of a friend group. Only half of our class was like bad, but that half was so bad that it made the whole class look bad. Right?
There was very two extremes in our class.
Yep.
I even
Yep.
noticed it when I did transfer over there. There were two very big extremes. There were the goody two shoes,
And then the baddie
and then
baddie
they were
dudes.
they were the baddie two dudes.
Yeah, so
It was
But what does
But
that
John,
mean?
but John was in the interesting spot that nobody else was. Is
John
that
straddled the line.
John was friends with people from the bad group from when we were kids. Me, like
so like
we
I
were
had,
already friends.
See, I had it perfect because I was friends with the whole spectrum.
you had
the
you
whole
had,
spectrum.
out of all the groups, you had picked one or two out of each group that you were already friends with at that time. So you made it a little bit easier on yourself.
So I was able to go around and talk to anyone in our class, and people wouldn't like think anything of
Yeah.
it. But like if like the valedictorian would go and talk to
Yeah.
like Zach, oh,
that
man.
would be a weird scenario. Fuck that person, anyways.
Yeah.
So, this situation was brought up because we as a group thought it would be a great idea to put some wine and some tequila in some fucking those squirt water bottles, like those Gatorade bottles that you would get at the basketball games. We thought it was a genius idea to put some fucking alcohol in them. So, at this point, it was the first year that the school had gotten cameras. So we were aware. So we were looking for these cameras. We thought we saw them all. Well, we missed one.
They did recon. They did recon.
So so the story goes that I walk in before, because it was right when we get in. You were go to your lockers, then go to your first period, then they'd call you up, and that group would be going to get on the bus to go to the movie. So before that first period, before we were to get sent off, we were going to get a good buzz going first. So we stood in a circle in the hallway, and we're just passing this bottle around, right? Just not a great scenario in the first place, but we thought we were good. Because we got on the bus, nobody had said anything, so we were like, all right, we got away with it, cool. So we get to the movie theater, and we figured out we had a lot more alcohol than we initially thought. There was a couple people that were like 3 sheets to the wind drunk. I mean, I had me a good little juicy buzz going, but I wasn't drunk. We're in junior high, on a junior high field trip at the movie theater. And we're getting fucking drunk in the movie theater. And so we get back to the school, we're good. Nothing happens. A day later comes around, right? And I'm walking down the hall, and I'm not thinking anything of it. Then I see our English teacher come down the hallway, bawling her eyes out. She's crying like crazy. And one of the upperclassmen, he's like a junior in high school at this point, but it was Ethan's brother, actually. He came up to me, and he was like, dude, y'all are fucked. And I was like, what? For what? What did we do? And they were like, they know. I'm like, what do they know? He's like, they know. And I was like, oh no, that's fucked up. Because at that point, I'm like young. I don't know real world events. I'm like, am I gonna go to jail? Like, I don't know what this is. So
You don't know the law at that point. You're
and
like,
I was like, okay. So at first, I go and sit with my group, the main group of hellions, and we're drinking. And later on, I wanted to get some popcorn. And one of our other buddies that wasn't like a huge troublemaker, but he was friends with most people in our group, he was sitting off to the side with one of our other buddies. So I went over there to get some popcorn, and I sat down and I was talking to them. And then I ended up sitting there for the last, like, 30 minutes of the movie, right? They threw the bottles away in the theater, and I knew that was a bad idea, but I don't even think that had anything to do with it. It was never confirmed that they found that in the trash can.
So why would they have dug through the trash?
I don't know. But that's not how we got caught. So
Okay.
she comes down the hallway crying. He says, "Oh, y'all are fucked." So I go into my math class, and in my math class, I'm sitting there. I'm like, "Oh fuck, what's gonna happen now?" One at a
That's
time.
all you're thinking about.
One at a time. The math teacher gets calls. One at a time. I'm just gonna say random names. These are not the real names. Billy. Go up to the office. 2 minutes later. Kyle. Up to the office. Like shit like that. And it's going and it's going. And then me and somebody else. I think it was me and Joe. I'll just go first name Joe. Me and Joe. I think it was me and Joe. It was either me and Joe or me and Jacob. Didn't get called up at that point, right? So
Well, I bet you two were just looking at each other like,
oh my God, did we get away with it? Go home. We're fine. We figure out. I had to call everybody that got called up, like after school. They got it. They got. What's the one? Suspended, I guess.
ISS?
In school or out of school?
Out of school.
They got out of school.
OSS. They were at home for like a week. They didn't go to school. They weren't allowed to go to school. They didn't go. I don't.
It was
think
alternative school.
I don't think they went to alternative school. Maybe they did. Maybe they did. I didn't have to. And I'll tell you why.
This is good.
So
I've never heard any of this actually.
yeah.
So
So
You're gonna enjoy this.
So this happens, and I go home, and I'm like, all right, there's still landline phones. I don't have a cell phone at this point. I had a cell phone, but that's not how I called. So I called Joe or Jacob. I don't remember. It was one of them. And I'm like, damn, we got away with it. That's fucking crazy. Like, they're all in fucking trouble. I'm like, damn. And I'm feeling good. I'm like, okay, I'm scot-free. I'm good. And then he said, "Oh, getting another call. I'll call you right back." I don't get a call back. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, that's got to mean something. That's got to mean something. So an hour goes by, and I don't hear nothing. So I'm sitting there playing Call of Duty Black Ops. Sitting there playing.
not a care in the world. You thought you were clear.
I thought I was clear. I went and put the phone in the living room. I was good. My mom. So my dad picks up the phone. And at this point, every time that I would get in trouble for something, whoever's calling the house to, get on me, my dad answers. So it's just a fucking thing. So then my dad's pissed, who then tells my mom, who's extra pissed now because she didn't get the initial call. So this is right after. This is not even it's like 2 or 3 months after I got caught egging and toilet paper in the shit out of somebody's house. I got caught. They called the cops and all that shit, right? So this is only a couple months after that. Mind you, I was a fucking delinquent child. So my dad answers, and he's like, my mom's not home from work yet. You was drinking at the school, huh? It's like, I said, what? What are you talking about? And he's like, don't play stupid. I got the call. He's like, I'm just going to tell you. I mean, I'm pissed, but not near as pissed as what your mom's going to be.
I was gonna say, I bet when her Marcy found out about that shit, she threw a storm. Like, you had a storm on you.
We still argue about this to this day, but she gets home. She gets home, right? Yeah. I'm laying in bed. I can't wait for her to watch this. She'll watch this, or I'll tell her to watch this part. So, comes into the house. My mother's a saint. I don't have an abusive mother.
Your mom's great.
Marcy
but I bet she was pissed as shit.
Marcy is an angel.
I
I bet she was so
Marcy
mad.
is an angel.
She's great.
She's just a straight angel.
Great woman. So this great woman's son is a piece of shit. So I'm sitting in there. I'm playing COD. My dad talks to me, and I'm like, okay, I can't even stomach playing games right now. So I'm sitting there and I just turn on, I think it was like George Lopez or something. And I was laying in bed and I was like, I know this is going to happen, so I really need to not be laying down. So I sit in my chair.
Marcy walks in as the cowbell and the George Lopez intro is going, and she walks in, and the cowbell keeps going when he pauses the show, and she's got the cowbell.
There is no walking in. There is a fucking kick the door down. I swear. And she says she did not kick the door down. She will say that she did not kick the door. She kicked the fucking door open. And I was like, okay, this went to DEFCON 5 in like 2 seconds. So imagine.
I can just picture her busting that fucking door down. Lucas! So fucking angry.
That is exactly what happened. So,
oh my god.
I'm in fucking deep shit at this point.
Holy
so
shit.
I'm gonna get screamed at. I know that at this point I'm gonna be screamed at for the next, 2-3 hours maybe. So that happens, and I end up my landing zone after this whole thing happens is I'm sitting on the couch with my parents, and I'm just I'm dead inside. Like my stomach is in 20 different knots. Like, I don't know what's going to happen when I go to school. I don't know what is happening outside of school. Because, in hindsight, now I know everyone was talking about it. But at that point, I was like, maybe nobody's going to know. Maybe, parents aren't going to hear about it or whatever. No. It's still talked about to this day.
Everyone knew.
Everyone
knew.
Everyone knows.
Everyone heard about it.
Yeah.
Field trips were never.
They just now got reinstated. My
Yeah.
nephew, just
Really?
last year, was now able to go on field trips. And I've been out of high school for 6 years now. So that would have been almost 12 years ago. So, yeah, field trips were ruined for about 12 years because of me and a small group of my buddies. So Stilger was not involved, surprisingly, right?
Really?
Because it surprises you. Not involved in the slightest. Alex and Zach didn't get in any trouble. I remember I thought they drank there, but they still to this day say that they had nothing to do with it. They hold their innocence. I don't believe them, but they hold up to their innocence. I won't say the names of people that did get in trouble, but, well, I mean, it was, I'll do first names. Me, Kyle, Dalton, Joe, Jacob, who else? Cameron, Ethan. And that's about it, I think.
Were none of the girls involved?
I thought
One girl was involved.
Yeah, I
and
was
that's
gonna say, I
where I'll
thought there
get.
was,
That's
yeah.
where I'll get. So one of our friends who was a girl did, I think, take a sip or two, unfortunately, in front of the camera. So now I can tell you how I got caught. There was a camera back there. It was a different sized camera than the rest of the cameras. Didn't look like a camera to us. Oh, they got us, right? So I get to school. And I don't know what my dad said to our principal on the phone, but it must have done me something. Because when I get there, I'm being talked to, and me and I don't know who else was in there with me. Somebody else was in the office with me, and they were like, okay, so your other buddies, as you know, aren't at school today. And you know why, right? And then we get that whole spiel. And so I'm still in the school, but I'm in school suspension. I got in-school suspension for a couple days. So I had to do the research because I was the only one left in the school at that time. So I had
Wait,
to...
so Joe / Jacob did get OSS.
Yes, they all got wiped out.
You were the only one.
I can't fucking remember. I think somebody else got out of it entirely. Like, no suspension whatsoever. But I got the in-school suspension. And I shared that in-school suspension room. It was just me and the girl. The one girl that was involved, right? So, I sleuthed a little bit around, trying to figure out what the fuck happened. Because how did they know to check that camera, right?
Yeah.
So this girl, and I will still give her shit to this day. I'll say it to her, and I still fucking give her shit. She felt bad about it. Her conscience felt bad, right? So she goes and tells the snitch of all snitches in our class. You know those goody two-shoes that John was talking about? The king of the goody two-shoes. The ones that like, I'm going to go to hell if I don't tell them. So the moment she tells him, he's like, either you turn yourself in and the rest of them, or I'll turn y'all in. That's what this kid says. I'll tell you after the pod who that kid is.
I have a really good idea who it is.
I think you do too.
I think I know who it is.
Actually, I think
Fuck you, pussy.
I think I think I remember who it was because that got spread around too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snitch.
I'm pretty
Big
sure.
snitching.
Yeah.
Big snitching. That's not the only time he snitched. Fuck you, pussy. Fuck that kid. So, I don't give a fuck what you're doing in your life. Go fuck yourself. You never get forgiven from me.
Oh,
But, so then she turns herself in because you have no choice. Why'd you tell him in the first place? I have no remorse for her on that situation because why'd you fucking tell him? Of all the people that you have a guilty conscience to tell, that guy. So then we're in the ISS together, and I don't remember much of that, but I remember being like, because we couldn't talk to each other. She was over here, I was over here, and we had to have our backs to each other. But the camera in there could not see your face. So we would just talk like that, and it can't hear you or anything. And I'm like, why'd you do it? I'm like one of those
Why'd you
movie
fucking
investigators.
do it?
I'm like, what made you
I
fucking
could just-
do it?
I could just imagine her and LT sitting in this room here, and it's just quiet. And then
I'd like to picture there was like
You just-
I would like to think that there was like 45 minutes of just sheer silence before, and then
And
you
LT
just
just
mutter,
like-
"Why'd you do it?"
So
Why'd you do
it? We was just having a good time doing our own thing. I don't hate that girl. I don't have.
If
any
it's who I
problem
think
with
it
her.
is,
I
yeah,
just
she's
give
cool.
her. I just give her shit.
Yeah.
Her and her husband. I love them.
Oh, that's definitely
you've
who I
known
thought
them-
it was
You've known
then.
them both for
my
long.
entire life. Yeah.
You've been
Very
real good
interesting
friends.
that they ended up getting married. It's kind of cool. That
You-
I've known them both like a hell of a long time.
So did you skip over the part where you watched the footage though?
Oh yeah. So
This was part of I think what got you out
I
of
think part of what got me out of it is my dad was on the phone, and I don't know what my dad said to him, but my dad apparently got to see the footage. And
How?
they showed it to him, I guess. He went to the school like a week later or something to like plead my innocence or something.
Yeah.
So they showed it to him, and he said he said on the phone, if it makes you feel better, it doesn't look like he enjoyed it. I made a face like, ugh, like that when I drank the tequila. Because I made a face, I think that's the only reason I can think of. Because I did everything the exact same as everybody else, but my face was the one facing the camera. And I made a wince from drinking the tequila. So I got the in-school suspension because I made a face.
God.
So
It didn't look like he enjoyed it.
he didn't enjoy it.
What the fuck?
Meanwhile, I was almost 3 sheets to the wind at the movie theater. Like I took like maybe 2, maybe 3 drinks at the school.
But you're also you're a kid, so you're a lightweight.
I'm a lightweight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we had 2 things of tequila, 2 of those Gatorade bottles of tequila, and 1 of them of wine, and we had probably like 6, 7 guys drinking on it, and we were done with all 3 of them. So you got to think we're young guys, and plus at that time, you know, we were drinking every once in a while, but like we weren't having a good like, you know, tequila doesn't taste good now, but you can muster it. Back then as a kid, you're like, this is disgusting. Oh, but you know what it's gonna do to you.
Yeah.
And I know what I even did in that moment when he said that because I remember wincing. I winced. I went, oh, I'll take a drink. I went, that's good shit. I remember doing that. And And I was like, so that had to be the moment that he was talking about. Because I took the drink of tequila, and then I drank the wine, which I didn't wince at wine, because wine's wine. It's got flavor to it. It's not as raw as tequila.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the first-hand account of how all of that went down.
That's so ridiculous. I'm pretty sure it was whenever you guys were in 8th grade, though, because I was there. Like, I was at the school then. I didn't go there till 7th grade.
So I guess it was.
See, I don't
7th
think
grade
it was,
may have
though.
been the egg and toilet paper.
Because we were supposed to go on a field trip for our English class too, like to watch the movie that we were reading about, like you guys. But it was like a month after that.
My 7th grade year, so it was 8th grade, because 8th grade I did that one thing, and then I don't think I did much more that year. But 7th grade, I did so much bad shit. I was in trouble multiple times a month. Like, so that same girl, one time, me and Jacob went back to school. I was staying at his house on Friday, but we had a test on Monday in biology, and I forgot my biology book. Or it was like pre-biology, whatever the junior high one was. So we went in there, and I was like, Jacob, you want to see something funny? And what do you think I did, Jordan? What do you think I did? Guarantee you can't fucking guess it.
What'd you do?
I pissed on the floor in the hallway.
I do remember this one.
There were no cameras at that point. Nobody knew. That nobody figured that out. I didn't get in trouble with the school. Ever. That never happened. Yeah, I pissed on the floor. Why I thought that was funny, I don't know. But now thinking back, it's funny. But at the time, why is that funny?
It's because you were a young boy. That's why.
I just pissed on the floor.
Honestly, if you would do that at, like Walmart, I would laugh my ass off. That shit's funny. Like, I feel bad for whoever has to clean it up, but it's funny.
So I was mentioning that girl. So that girl, I was friends with her. I was relatively good friends with her. So me and Jacob told her about it, right? Her mom and my mom have known each other since they were in kindergarten. And they are still friends to this day. But, like, so her mom and my mom are best friends. And I told her, and she thought it was funny, right? She says that she thought it was funny, so she told her mother. What's her mother do? Calls my mom because she thinks it's funny. Does my mom think it's funny, Jordan?
I don't think Marcy would have thought that was funny.
Marcy's grabbing the cowbell and she's playing fucking George Lopez, bro.
In comes George Lopez, bro. Are you talking about pissing on the floor? That's what she called your mom about?
Yes.
Oh,
I was sitting on the front porch.
God.
I was literally just sitting there. She calls my mom, and I hear my mom say, "Oh, really?" And I'm like, "Fuck, man, what'd I do this time?" So what was my punishment? My punishment was the worst one I ever received in my life. I never received a worse punishment than this. I love my grandma. My grandma and me are tight as fuck. I consider myself to be my grandma's favorite, bar none. I love my grandma to death. She's one of my favorite people ever. My mom's punishment to me was to call my grandma and tell her what I did.
Oh my gosh.
I never had to do that for any other punishment, but she was like, I don't even know what to do with you. She's like, call your grandma. You have to tell her. I'm like, no! Like, that hits the heart, bro. Even when I drank at the school, I didn't have to tell my grandma. I tell my grandma, I'm on the phone with my grandma. I'm crying. How could I not? I was crying. I was like, this is what I did. I'm so sorry. She's like, and I heard my grandma say, why would you do that? And I'm like,
Oh,
God,
gosh.
no! Yeah, that shit hurt. Like, even thinking about it now, it makes me cringe. I hate it.
dude, out of all the bad shit that I did, I didn't do that much bad shit when I was younger, but like, out of all the times I got caught doing stuff, if I would have had to call one of my grandmothers and explain what I did,
It's good.
especially my grandma that I rent from,
Yeah.
because she's like stereotypical sweet old lady.
Oh
Was
my
that
gosh.
Annette's mom?
No,
That's Bill.
Annette's mom, there would have been hell to pay.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
She-
and
she's-
mom would be cooking.
She would have went. What? And then she would have drove to our house and beat the shit out of me.
She would have made you cookies with flaxseed in them and made you eat all of them.
No, she would have grabbed a spoon, filled it with flaxseed and wheat germ, made me take 3 of them. No, because the worst part would be if I would have told my other grandma that, she would have been like, "What?" She would have been like, "You did what?"
So much more of you. Like that kind of shit. That
She
shit
would've-
hurts,
she would have
dog.
like, because especially those sweet old grandmas, they'd be like, "Did you really?"
Why would you?
Why
and
would
like-
anyone do such a thing? Like,
Bro, that was literally that was the worst punishment of all time.
That is
like,
that's crazy.
And to think she
That
thought of that off
is
the top of her
brilliant.
head. My mother thought
That was
off the top
that
of her
was
head, and I
that was
like,
thinking on your feet. That's
now-
what it
nowadays
is.
I'm like,
That-
kudos, because that shit got me. That sticks with me.
that
Still,
that
sometimes
is
when I see my
fucking
grandma,
brilliant.
I'm like, oof. She knows I pissed on
That's
the floor.
that definitely sticks.
are you gonna
with
do
you.
that to your kids?
If I ever have kids,
It's
I
a
would.
smart idea.
100%. I will. If I have kids, I 100% will do that. I'll make them call up Marianne, right?
Oh my god.
And I'll even tell my mom beforehand, because my mom, I've noticed, like, as I've gotten older, she's like a lot more chill, like about like talking about
True.
like dumb shit like that. But I'll tell my mom beforehand. I'll be like, "Hey, listen, so like this is what you need to act like you're so disappointed," and she will play the part.
I don't know if
My
she-
Marianne
for a
100%
grandkid.
would.
Would she
She
do that to
would.
a
I think
grandkid?
she would.
She would.
Marianne can act. Like I've seen her like have her little her act with being disappointed because she's gotten real mad at me before. And you know what I'm talking about? Whenever at the table.
Table.
Tell this story. I gotta pee.
It's a quick story, but I think
I'm gonna listen.
Spencer was involved too. He got in trouble too.
Oh, Jesus.
Me and him both got in pretty serious trouble.
Wait,
but a lot
was this
of shit.
when they were out of town?
No,
Oh,
no, I never got in trouble for that from her.
I didn't either. Well, like they were just like, "Oh, you had a party."
Well, that was the dumbest shit. But we're not gonna talk about that. What I'm talking about, I think it was your grad party. We went and picked up some tables from someone. I can't remember who it was, but they were like right down the road.
Mhm.
And
Jim.
Yeah, from Jim. And me and Spencer were the ones that were in charge of doing it, and we took the Sextera. It was either the Sextera or the RAV4. I can't remember which one it was, but we Spencer and I drove down there, and at that point Spencer didn't have his license yet, but I did, because it was whenever you graduated. Or wait, it doesn't matter. I drove and he rode with me. Well, we obviously could not fit these tables in the RAV4. It was the RAV4. And so our big idea was, Spencer's big idea was, oh, I'll just hop on the top of the car and hold them down, and I'll lay on top of the tables on top of the car. We're only going like a mile down the road anyways. So 17-year-old me was like,
All right.
okay.
Bet.
So Spencer, his big ass was laying on top of 4 tables, like the white plastic tables, on top of this RAV4.
I'm gonna assume they just slid right
was-
fucking off.
They didn't, thankfully, because he would have fell off too. He was
was
on
gonna
top of
say.
him. This is how he was on top of the car.
It's just the table.
Hanging, we had the windows down because it was in the summertime, because it was for John's grad party. He was hanging on to the sides of the window, so I was making sure I kept an eye on his
Wait,
hands
you
to make
took
sure
them
that they were
from
still
where to
there.
where?
Jim's house, like a little bit close to their
Okay.
place.
Mhm. You know Jim?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jim's house to my house.
Yeah.
He was just on top.
So actually, in hindsight,
It's
it's
not
probably
necessarily a
it's probably
short-
it's
it's
probably
two-
like
it's probably
2-3 miles.
Yeah.
It's not a short distance.
I wasn't driving fast at all, but we got there fine, and he didn't fall off or nothing. But as we talked about last weekend, of Spencer's little brother telling on us very often,
He ratted on you for that.
Sully saw us pull up with Spencer laying on top of the car. and Marianne walked up to me, and she was like, "You're never driving one of our vehicles again. I cannot believe you did something like that. That was the most ridiculous thing you could possibly." John's mom. John's mom.
The black one.
Yeah,
Oh, God, the
right-
black one.
Yeah, like that short ass. She was ungodly mad at me.
That hurts too. When
She
your
was like-
friend's mom is mad at you, that hurts worse.
Yeah, and she was like, I never would have thought you would have done something like that, and I'm unbelievably disappointed in you that you would have done something like that. She was like, She was like, I think I remember her saying, like, I'm not going to tell your mom about that, but I never want you doing some crap like that ever again. Like, she got so mad at me. And I remember thinking, I was like, what did I do? Like, why did I do that? I feel like such a piece of shit because Marianne made me feel so bad for doing that.
I remember this time that Annette gave me like the old stink eye, kind of like when we did something bad. So
no.
yeah.
Annette, if
So
Annette got mad at me, I'd probably melt.
you remember?
I'd just be dead.
You remember a guy whose nickname when we went to school was Jolly?
I fucking hated that guy.
So do you remember when we
He's
went
the only
to?
guy I've ever punched in the face.
Oh, you punched him?
Yeah.
For what? I want to hear that story first, and then we'll move to this.
It's a quick story. It's a quick story.
Why'd you punch
We were
him?
walking up the stairs, like in the school, and he was walking behind me. He grabs my foot and just yanks it out, and I smoke my shin on the staircase. So I just turn around and haymakered him. And then I just walked away. And I had a class next. I had a class where I sat fairly close to him next period, and his face was all right here, like where I got
So
him.
are you like friends with him? And you're saying like, "Oh, I fucking hate that guy," or do you just actually don't like him? You can say.
I don't care for him. I
feel indifferent.
yeah, like
He was the only person I ever convinced that my cousin was Justin Timberlake.
I believe
I
that.
had been convinced for years that my cousin was Justin Timberlake.
But I just remember I sat kind of close to him. I saw how red his face was, and he was kind of sitting like that. I remember going like, "Hey, I kind of overreacted. I'm sorry."
He put a dent that's to this day in the hood of my Scion.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you do? Just
He,
sit on
he
it?
tried. He tried.
He was a big
he
boy.
tried hood sliding. He tried hood sliding. Put a fucking dent in the Scion. If you all come over, I will show you exactly where this dent is because
I've
it's in
seen
an
it.
odd place.
Okay, the story I want to hear that I've never heard the full account of is the donut trip.
That's what I thought you were about to bring
So
up.
we'll get to that one. Let me tell this story
Oh, you're talking about a
first.
different one.
Let me
This
tell.
is just
Oh,
a story
shit.
pod.
Let me
I
tell
love
this
it.
story.
Time.
Story time with the boys.
Schmutz
Let me tell
stories.
this story about when Annette was disappointed in me, gave me a stink eye.
no.
Yeah, I don't remember this. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was
I
Annette.
murdered somebody and buried him out back, and she said,
It was
"I'm disappointed in you, John."
it was either Annette gave me a stink eye or Bill picked us up and Jolly's mom gave us the stink eye. It was one of those two.
It was always worse whenever Bill would get mad.
So
Because he would just make you feel stupid.
Jolly, he would have these parties every year. It was the fall party. His fall like get together. He always had a fall party.
This is where the nerdy kids would go party.
And
You.
and see, Jordan was kind of in the same boat as me.
You
like
were
we were
fluid.
we were those in
we
betweeners.
were line straddlers.
Mm-hmm. So
Either go all the way in or go all the way fucking out.
We did bad things occasionally.
So we went into
Pretty rarely.
This was a case where we did a bad thing, but it's not like as bad. But like for that group of people, it was kind of bad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so we go out and we're like hanging out
Oh, I
and
know what
like
you're talking about.
and like Jolly's cousin is there.
How old were
Our
you?
buddy Carson was there.
we were like 13.
Yeah,
Is this
I think it was
Jo-
like
was
freshman
it-
sophomore year.
I think it was before that.
Was it?
We were young.
Wait, is that
Eighth
the-
grade
the-
freshman?
Is that
Eighth grade
Yeah.
freshman?
the Jolly's cousin that's like a girl
Yeah.
that is our age?
Yeah.
That story. There's a story about I'm still mad at John about this, but I'll
Yeah.
tell it. I'll tell it.
I know exactly what that one
digress.
is. I know exactly what that one is. But so we decide like it's like super late. You know, we're delinquents who are staying out late and stuff like that. And we're like, we want to
We're
have
studying.
we
for
want
our
to have
geometry homework while we're partying.
we want to have some more fun. Let's go ding dong ditch the neighborhood.
In my defense, I had a terrible time at that party.
So we
In my defense, I hated every
it,
second.
it was
I
not
wanted to
fun.
go home
It was
so
not
badly.
that fun. It was not. It was not fun.
Who at a teenage age says, "Oh, ding dong ditch"? I was beyond that, bro. I
We
ding
were-
dong ditched when I was in like 5th grade, and it was at Mr. Bridges' house.
Oh,
I
God.
ding dong ditched his house, and he brings out a fucking spotlight, a deer spotlight, and just gets.
He
us.
would bring out a spotlight.
Yeah, he did.
But so anyway, so
He was a
we're
screamer too.
so we go out, we ding dong ditch like the whole neighborhood, right? And we go back like, oh guys, that was so much
We're
fun.
so cool.
So you know
I
what
don't even
Jolly
think I went
says?
with him.
You know what Jolly says? You went the second time because
Did I go
Jolly
the second
says,
time?
let's go again. Let's go do it again. Everyone's awake already at this point. So
Genius.
So we're walking through,
Genius.
and we've got like Halloween masks and like shit on, and we're walking down the road. We got like all our hands in the pockets. We haven't even hit a house yet. The second time, and next thing we know, we look over at the next street that tees up to it. This guy's walking down the road like while we're walking. 3 o'clock in the morning, right? So we're like, oh no, we're like, everyone be cool, be cool. And so like,
Be cool.
So like,
we're out on the street at 3 in the morning. Be cool.
This
So
is
this-
like a subdivision too. Like,
yeah.
it's not like a
So this
normal
guy,
thing
he
to
like
do.
comes up and he's like, "What's going on, guys?" You know, and like questioning us, and then like Jolly's like trying to talk us out of it. He's doing a terrible job of talking us out of it.
Sounds like
So he's like, "All right, whose house are y'all staying at? Like, don't get smart with me. I know y'all are staying somewhere here." So he's like,
See,
"Here," and
there's the friend group differential right there. If he'd have done that, we'd have said, "Fuck you! Why
know
do
for
you
a
want to know where
fact
I
you all
stay?
would have done
fucking
that."
pedophile! Get the fuck away from me!"
So-
like you just fucking you don't give up where you're staying, you fucking idiots! What the fuck?
so
Getting in trouble 101. Don't give away your position, you dumbass.
so we walk back,
we
and he's
live
like,
over there.
he's like,
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
3 houses that way.
Sir, I'm so sorry. We ding-donged into your house. We came from there at 12:05. We were just doing our geometry homework, and now we wanted to ding-dong into your houses. I'm sorry.
So he's like, I'm gonna walk y'all back, and I'm gonna tell your parents like what you all did. We're gonna make you wake your parents up since you woke everyone else up. We're gonna make you wake your parents up now.
That's genius, actually.
That was pretty
I
good.
fuck with that guy.
That was pretty good on that
guy's
guy.
That's a good dude right there. I feel like that's something I'd do.
Looking back on it, the dude seemed like he was probably a cool guy. in
And you
general.
ruined his night.
He was
Yeah.
just
Not only did
pissed
you
because
ruin
he
his night,
he got woken up.
well,
So-
you gave him the satisfaction of catching you, even though he didn't really catch you. You just admitted to it on the first thing. He just walks up to you, makes eye contact. We did it, sir. I'm sorry. I live right there.
Hey now, I didn't. I was ready to kind of because I learned
I
some
was
stuff
ready to
from
back the fuck off.
I learned some stuff from your all's group, but like it wasn't my group, so I'm like I'm stepping back. I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna let these guys handle it. This is their territory. I'm gonna let and Jolly didn't. He backed down, but so the guy walks back and he's like, hold on, I'm gonna do this. So before like anyone walks inside, the guy goes up and he like knocks on the door, rings the doorbell and stuff, right? Making like everyone in the house like wake up. Well, the person that comes is Caitlin. Caitlin's the one who comes to the door first, and he starts talking to her like she's Jolly's mom. Yeah, do you remember that part?
No.
So Caitlin comes and she or Jolly, he says, "Oh no, that's my stepsister," right? So it's like
2 times in a row, the guy
Yes.
just ices himself. What
So-
the fuck?
so he
I
goes.
don't
So
remember
she
this at
goes in
all.
and she gets her dad, not Jolly's mom, her dad, and he comes down and he is like talking to him. The guy like explains everything to him. The guy goes off, does his thing. When the guy's gone, he looks at us and he's like, "Y'all are a fucking bunch of fucking," and I can't say the word of what he called us, but he called us something bad.
Was it an F word?
No.
Oh God.
It was a derogatory term. He's like, y'all are special.
Oh. Okay.
That's
You
not
know,
where I thought you were
That's
going
not
with
where
that.
I was going. I thought he was dropping the N word or the F word.
That's-
where I was
No,
going.
no,
I didn't.
no, it's-
I guess I don't remember this at all. So like, I was like, I don't remember that.
So that happens, and we
Jordan's like ready
we
to
go in and
home
we
at
go to
this point.
sleep.
He's like, fuck this, all of
I had
this.
to walk home. This was like a
Now-
quarter mile away from my house.
Mind you, this is like the first time I've ever really gotten in trouble from anything because I was always a goody two shoes growing up. So I'm like having trouble sleeping, and I'm like, what's gonna happen to me? Like, what's gonna happen to me? And I'm freaking out because I didn't know what
Wait, did we sleep there?
we slept there because I think it was your dad or your mom. I don't remember who it was, but someone came and picked us up the next morning, and Jolly's mom, she said something to them that was like kind of saying what we did, but she didn't ever like tell them what we did, and like she gave like the stink eye, and I want to say it was Annette because Annette kind of gave a stink eye too.
Honestly, I don't picture my parents getting mad about that at all.
I don't think they would.
I really don't see, especially Bill. I don't see Bill giving a single fuck about that.
Someone gave us a stink eye, and I remember that look.
And it hurt.
It did
It
hurt.
hurt.
That stink eye.
It broke
It
your
must have
arm.
been his mom because I don't. Like, I think my mom would have been the extent my parents would have gotten mad about ding dong ditching someone. It would have been, what are you doing?
Yeah, like it's just
it's
dumb.
stupid.
It's
It's
dumb.
stupid.
It's not even
Yeah.
fun.
Dude, there was one time, whenever my freshman year of college, I had a buddy that would buy me beer, and I would get it before I would come home. So I'd have a 30 rack of Natty Lights to come home with. And on a Sunday, whenever I was about to head back up to Terre Haute, my mom, for some reason, she was fucking digging around in my car. She swears she wasn't looking for shit, but she had to have been, because the way that I would always stack it, I would put the case down at the bottom, put a towel over it, and then put these 2 lawn chairs I had in my car over it. So there was shit piled on top of it. Her defense to it was she saw a towel and thought it was dirty, so she wanted to wash it.
Okay, so to be honest though,
Annette would do that 100%.
to be honest though, I would
I wouldn't
I
put
would
it past
believe
her,
that.
I
but-
would believe that she truly was trying to wash that towel.
But I was getting all my shit packed up, and she was like, and I walk upstairs, and she was sitting there with her arms crossed, all pissed, and she was like,
Jordan,
I just found something in your car, and I was like,
please don't be the weed.
well, the weed and cigarettes that was in my fucking the weed and cigarettes that was in my damn console.
Don't find
I
that.
was like, oh shit. And she was like, yeah, I was just looking in your back seat, and I was like, oh.
Find anything cool?
I was like, oh, what? And she was like, yeah, I think you need to go in your back seat and carry that in and set it on the table so your dad sees it. And I was like,
Bill's probably like, I'm taking.
I was like,
Oh shit, can I have one?
I was like, oh, okay. And I went out there and grabbed the
Is that
natty
even
light
a
case.
punishment?
He goes out and he gets.
That if your dad was gonna be the one dishing out the punishment for beer,
How funny would it
No,
have
because
been?
I know Dad has done shit in the past. I know Dad used to kind of party a little bit when he was my age too. At that point,
so you were like, I'm good.
How
I
funny would it have
wasn't
been if
super
Jordan
worried.
went out and grabbed like a bunch of weed and cigarettes and put that on the
Here,
table?
Mom.
And she's like, Jordan! Oh my gosh! I made the beer.
I don't think
I meant the dirty towel in your trunk.
I meant your laundry.
Well, the worst part was there was like 10 beers left in the case. So I sat on the table and she was like, who bought that for you? And I was like, well, my buddy's up at school. Like, you don't know him. He's not from around here. And she's like, well, I saw some of those were missing. Did you drink those on the way home? And I was like, no, I did not drink them on the way home from school. And she's like, well, you're not leaving with them. And I was like, okay, I figured. I was gonna text my boy. And
Text him on the way back. He'll have them ready by the time I get home.
I'll just have a fresh pack.
well, the best
30
part,
rack.
the best part was freshman year. I stole a lot, and my family wasn't. Stealing alcohol was a staple of freshman year in college, and my family wasn't safe from that either. Because my parents would make wine, homemade wine and shit, and I would always steal like 3 bottles every time, and I would sell them to people on my floor. And what she was like, well, you're not coming back with that. And then all the other family functions, like for the next 6 months, my mom would offer up natty lights to my brother and sister and be like, you want some beer on Jordan? And they would just never drink them. So then every time I came home, I would steal them. I would just take them like one by one until there was like, until eventually there was like 3 left. And I was like, okay, I probably should stop taking these out of the box.
You're stealing your beer back.
I drank most of that case.
What did your brother and sister say?
I told them that I was taking them still.
Oh.
Because my brother asked me, he was like, you know, we're never gonna drink those. He was like, you're taking those whenever you're home, aren't you? And I was like, yeah. He was like, oh yeah, I used to take their wine all the time too. It's okay.
They made a lot of wine.
Well, they would keep a
Yeah.
big ass stack of bottles. So if I took like a few bottles, they wouldn't notice. Honestly, with how many that I took from them, there's no way they didn't notice because I took every bit of probably like 50 bottles from them.
Oh my gosh.
But they would get replenished. But the thing is, they reused bottles, so they would be just shorthanded like 30, 40 bottles. You don't
that's when
just
you-
lose that many wine
That's when
bottles.
you sneak that wine bottle back into the stash, the empty stash.
I don't think that would have been possible, but like the best part was I was charging people, like all the girls on my floor, like $20 a bottle too.
See,
and, like,
you all say like it seems like you all didn't get in a lot of trouble as kids. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you all?
I had like 2
No.
or 3 times where I got seriously in trouble.
Oh, Jesus,
Yeah, I never like.
dude,
I never got in trouble.
all the fucking time.
The time that I got in the most trouble was so my first year of college. I participated a lot in smoking weed a lot, right? It was. I was
college.
like, it's college, you know. So I had some at home in a backpack that a buddy came over and left for whatever reason. This buddy though, he is dumb. He is very dumb. He's someone that we know that is very, very dumb.
He's so dumb. He got the nickname Stupid before his name. We call him.
Not that friend.
Oh, I thought it was him. for
No,
some-
it's a friend. I'll tell y'all after who it is because the pod knows who it is, and I don't want to call him out for this. So he left his backpack wide open, with it literally sitting right on top of the backpack, and he left it outside, and went to bed. We went to bed. Woke up the next morning, the backpack was still open, sitting in the same spot. So what's
Was
my
he
dad
our
gonna
age?
do? He was
I know exactly who you're talking
A grade
about.
below
I already
you?
know it.
Grade below me.
Yeah.
Oh,
so.
Last name P.
that's what I just said.
No.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh yeah,
No.
stupid.
No, not that guy. It won't surprise you afterwards. You'll be like, oh,
I think I know
okay."
who it is.
So
But I think
he leaves it sitting there. If this tells you anything, he's someone who liked to mix drinks with beer. He made beer mixed
That
drinks.
doesn't help me.
With
It
like-
doesn't. I don't
and-
remember that at all.
and made them very fruity.
We can say his name. He's been on the pod.
Wyatt.
It was Wyatt.
It was Wyatt.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
We're fighting over this as Wyatt.
Well, I didn't want to call him out for this, but
He's not gonna give a fuck.
so he left his backpack open and had it sitting right on top. So my dad, being the good guy, when he goes out for his morning smoke, he sees a backpack out there like, oh, I'm gonna grab that so that it doesn't get dew on it. I'm gonna take it in. So he grabs it, sees exactly what's on it because Tom Will knows.
Dime baggy.
Tom Will knows.
Tom knows.
Oh,
Tom knows.
Tom knows.
So he grabs it and he sits it inside, I guess, and tells my mom. So I wake up the next morning and my dad's like, and I'm like, hey, Wyatt left his backpack. Where's it at? He's like, it's right over there. So I'm like, oh, jeez. And I'm like, maybe he didn't look in it. Maybe. So I go and grab it and I'm like, I need to take this back to him. So I go to take it back to him. My dad, he goes through the garage and catches me at my car. And he's like, you're not leaving with that. And I'm like, it's not mine, though. And it's my buddy's. I need to give it back to him. And he's like, no, you're not leaving what's in that backpack. And I'm like, ah, shit. So my dad, and, this is probably the worst trouble that I'd, gotten into with my parents.
Don't
And,
get scared. Megan's about to walk in the door.
okay. I heard
Oh,
the car
perfect.
door.
We're gonna see it in the camera.
So I'm like, he's not mad. He gives me that I'm disappointed kind of
You can
thing.
come in.
Come on in.
Oh, do you need help carrying stuff?
So he gives me
Say hi to
the.
Megan podcast. Bye.
Hi,
Megan.
So he gives me the disappointed dad talk,
Oh God, no.
and I'm over here
Not from Tom.
I'm
no.
already I'm coming down from smoking the night before. My mind is already crazy. I'm just crying because I'm like, oh my gosh, my dad is upset with me and all this and all that. And he's like, just give me that. Take the backpack back to him.
You think Tom smoked that?
I know for a fact that he did not, because for the longest time, and they would remind me of this, they kept that jar that it was in sitting right on their nightstand.
Oh!
And every chance they got, they sent me up to their room like, hey, I have a thing of laundry that needs to go up to my room. My mom would be like, do you mind to carry it up there for me? Because she had a broken ankle, so she can't really climb the stairs that well anyway. So she's like, will you take it up there for me? And I'm like, yeah, where do you want it? She's like, I'll just put it right in front of my nightstand. And I'm like, jeez. So
Remember
they,
that,
I,
they,
I, I am certain that was on purpose.
oh,
yeah.
100%.
I am certain.
100%.
Yeah.
And so like that thing, it was there for the longest time until like then I went like I got to that point where I was like, this is stupid. So I grab it, and I remember I showed my dad this, and I was like, check this out, Dad. And I looked at it, and I just chucked it in the woods. I took it, and I chucked it in the woods. Like that thing is probably still like the jar is probably shattered out there somewhere. Just yucked it as far as I could in the woods, far as I possibly.
You just got fed up.
I was so pissed
Done
off.
looking at this fucking jar.
I was so pissed off.
What did Tom do?
And he was like, just kind of like,
Ah, cool.
It's like, shit, I didn't even realize it was still there.
Fuck, I'd have smoked it if I remember.
What was that?
But that was a time when I got like I was like, oh man, that hurt.
So now we've hit
Hey, you know what?
so many.
I think we should close it off with talking about the donut run. Well, I think that was
don't know.
I think that was the king
let's
of
save
them.
it for the next one.
But we've been talking about all these stories. John, you think you could tell the donut story in just in 10 minutes?
The donut story.
Abridged.
I feel like this would cap it off too, because we've been talking about so many stories like this. And I feel like this is the king of them that John and I are at least a part of.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
So hold on, let me text my.
I'll
drive
start
back
it.
here. Yeah.
So John would have people over at his house a lot, and there was 10 of us there.
I got this down.
All right.
10 people there.
10 people.
5 decide to go. 5 decide to leave. Or 5 decide to stay. 5 decide to leave. Right? Because we're out there. We're having fun. We're not like drinking or nothing, right?
We actually
my first question.
We're
we actually
before.
weren't. We actually were not.
This was before we ever would like really drink. We were literally playing Halo, and I think we might have. Actually, I don't even think we were vaping yet.
I was 15 at the time. Like
We were playing Halo, like Xbox. We were LAN partying, is what we were doing.
Okay.
All right. So
Donut
someone's
run.
like, man, let's get some donuts. Like donuts sound really good, and
I
that was a
didn't
time
know.
when we were really into donuts because
we used to get free donuts from.
we used to get
girls
free
a lot.
donuts from this girl that I knew, and it was awesome. So we're like, yeah, donuts sound great, and our buddy Jolly, he's like, well, I have my license now. I can drive us, and I just got a car. I just got this Crown Vic that used to be a police car. All right, so he decides he's gonna drive us, and he's got 5 seats in his
fuck are
car.
you doing?
And I'm like, well, I need to stay home. It's my house. I need to stay here. So like 5 of us stayed, and 5 of them went off. So they go out, and they're like gone. They're gone for a while and whatnot, and we're like tired and everything. So we're like, man, fuck this. We're just gonna go to bed. So wake up the next morning to just a phone that's just blown up of missed calls and text messages. All of us, like our phones were blown up, but none of us woke up from them.
Me, Brandon, and John, all 3 were a part of the 5 that stayed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think any podcast people were in the car.
I don't. Spencer was on it. Spencer was in the
Spencer was in the
car.
car.
Spencer was
yeah.
in the car, because Spencer saved 2 of the guys' lives.
Because he was in the. Just keep going.
So we wake up, and I'm like, what the heck? And I'm like half asleep. So I call our buddy Matt, right? And I'm like, Matt, what the heck is going on, man? And he's like, dude, like we, and it's like really early in the morning, like
Yeah.
probably
It was
4
like
or 5 o'clock in the
It
morning.
was like yeah.
And he's like, man, we just like we got in a wreck and all this. Now, if you know Matt, he tends to lie a lot about.
Well,
a lot
he
of
over
stuff.
exaggerates.
He over exaggerates stuff.
Uh-huh.
So he's like, oh, we got in this wreck and all this, and I'm thinking like, he's fucking with me, like, he's fucking with me, and so I just blow it off like it's nothing, go back to bed. Wake up the next morning to Matt walking in to my room, and I wake up and I go, Matt, where the fuck are my donuts? And he's like, they're in the back of the fucking Crown Vic, all covered in fucking glass, you jackass. And I'm like, oh shit, did that actually happen?
Oh my god.
It was the best too because none of us believed them. Because I remember Did you wake us all up, or did we get woken up? Because I remember getting woken up and being like, dude, like, they're saying they crashed the car, and I was like, well, they fucking didn't.
Yeah.
I was like we were just like, no, they didn't.
Yeah, we didn't believe it. So what happened was, so if you're going down my road, you remember how there used to be, or the road right before you turn onto mine, right? You know how there used to be like that pond on the right side.
Yeah.
So you know which hill it was, right?
Mhm.
So it was
They were hill
Spencer. They were hill hopping. They're like Spencer's actually the one who was like, oh yeah, this is a good hill up here, which has then been turned into named the Jolly Hill, right? And there's nothing jolly about it anymore though. It's fucking, so they hit this hill. Well, he comes up and he comes down and he breaks his front axle on his car, and he loses control. He goes to the left, right? And he's like starting to spin off, so he kind of tries to overcorrect to the right. Well, they hit that embankment and go up. They clear this pond that's there. They hit the ground and just rolled into this person's yard, right? And so they went up to the house there, and they're like screaming like, help, 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 you know? And these people, they're probably like, this was kind of the time where shit started to get kind of unrestless, you know? So like,
Yeah.
so they went ahead and just called like the authorities for it, and Spencer was in the back in the middle, and what saved the two guys here on either side of him is when they were up in the air, he grabbed around them and like tucked down, and they like tucked into themselves, and he just grabbed them, and they all just held on to each other.
Because
So
the
that
two
they
guys that were on both sides of Spencer were smaller guys, and Spencer was still big as shit, like even back then, because he was a football player. He was a big old boy, the gorilla that he is.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He and the worst thing that any of them came out with was Matt had kind of like just a really tight back from it all.
Really?
Yeah, and it was the ambulance.
I think I saw the picture of the van.
There's a picture that I have that the next year I posted a picture for the anniversary of it that Spencer made, and I'll send you the picture.
Send it to me. I'll put it on the phone.
Well, it's got everyone's face in it.
Oh, I'll blur them.
All right.
Does it have the car?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
it has
Good.
the car
I'll
jumping
blur-
over the
I'll
moon.
blur the faces.
It has the car jumping over the moon.
That's awesome.
Yes, but so that ever since then, anytime anyone came over to the house, everyone had to turn their keys in to my mother.
Yeah, she had a
Don't blame it all.
basket.
Don't
Yeah,
blame
she had
it
the key basket,
Yeah.
and
all. Oh yeah, I put my keys in that basket.
Yep.
Many times.
Yeah.
But I always thought I didn't know that was because of the donut run.
Yep.
I thought that was because of drinking.
Nope.
Because
No.
once I had started, once our group started commingling, that was when like we were drinking and we would have to put our keys in there.
that was, and the keys thing was because that like my mom asked like the next morning she was like, were you all drinking? Like, were they drunk? And I was like, no, like we weren't drinking, we weren't doing anything. We wanted donuts, and she's like, you wanted donuts? And I'm like, yes, we wanted donuts. That's what we wanted.
It's hard to believe that story. Really.
It is, but that actually was the truth.
I
Because
know,
it,
but
that
it, like as
yeah,
a parent, that's hard to believe.
yeah,
Oh yeah, like I don't blame her one bit for like questioning that. But I could not get it in her mind. Like, we wanted donuts. That's all we wanted.
So now you, as the audience, know why we're scarred human beings. So that was a fun podcast. We're running up on 2 hours. That was fun. I liked that one. It was cool to get those stories out there. There's some interesting.
Those are some good stories.
There's scars there, but they're fun outside looking in. I guarantee.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Stories.
Like there's definitely like there's some stuff like within these stories where it's like it's sticking with us and it's
Yeah.
hurting us still to this day. I mean like that jar sitting on my fucking parents.
That's funny
Oh,
as shit.
oh yeah. That hurt
Well,
me.
I can tell you, in firsthand experience, that we are not fluffing these stories. That all these stories actually happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of these things actually happen. These are real life stories. So,
This is our life.
So that's been story time. SchmutzCast 18's a wrap. Thanks for sticking with us. Grab your SchmutzCast merch at popschmutz.com. Go listen to Dark Room by your boy Jordan Werner.
Keep
Got
an
new
eye out
music
for Gummy
coming
Bears
from
and Red
all
Bull.
of the fucking SchmutzCast guys, the Red Bull and
Gummy Bears and Red Bull.
Gummy Bears and Red Bull coming soon.
Oh yeah.
And I promise you, one day we're gonna get that woman that just walked through on this podcast.
We will
That'll
get her.
be the day.
One day.
That'll
get her
be
here.
the day.
So this has been SchmutzCast 18. Thanks for hanging with us. I'm Papa Schmutz.
I'm Johnny Will.
I'm Jordan.
Thanks for sticking with us. We got a new outro. This is our new thing.